right, everybody. Welcome back, you Hotarians out there. I keep coming up with different names for our audience.
Hotarians? Oh,
Hotarians.
Because of HOE.
HOE. There's a lot of material there.
Hose. Yeah.
Hose. Yeah, but I get tired of saying the same thing. Just to come up with new Hotarians, new. All right, so yeah, today we're bringing you another uplifting, positive episode.
Well, it is for us. Because we get to be hateful.
We're going to be talking about the 9 types of dying alone. We were just talking about doing like a roast episode, but we want to find a different premise around it. And this is an interesting, fun premise for us of like, what are the most alienating aspects of each type that might result in that type dying alone? This is just another excuse for us to talk about the shit that we hate about every type. So cool. Yeah. All right. So we're going to start with 9 and go counterclockwise. We're going to try to keep this fun and quick without, just hit them with the insults and the roasts and move on.
Okay.
All right. Start with 9.
Well, 9s want to be alone so that they can complain about how nobody's looking at them.
Yes. I would even go even deeper. 9s can be with people, but they self-erase to the degree that they are alone because nobody sees them.
Yeah. Yeah. They're just like, I haven't shown anybody anything about who I am, and it hurts me that nobody can see who I am that I haven't showed them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the 9 ends up dying alone even if they are with people because nobody knows what they care about. Yeah. They've just become like the trauma dump container for everyone, and everyone just sees themselves.
I know. Well, they're dying alone because they're they'll stop on the street for a stranger and absorb their whole life story, but they're not a part of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I saw somebody did a video recently, something about I thought he was describing 9s, and he was describing someone who's just become the emotional basement for someone else. Someplace that someone goes to dump everything that they have. Yeah. And the moment they speak up for themselves, they're like, wait, who's this? Who are you?
Yeah. 9's belief in the gut center that everybody is the same and everybody is connected is ironically the way that they end up being alone because they've self-erased to include every other human being and every flower and speck of dust in the earth as part of their identity, which means they don't have one.
Yes. It's like relegating to yourself to the sunken place.
Yeah.
Like you've just fallen asleep to yourself to such a degree that you've taken on everybody else's issues to the point where you're nothing. You're just sort of like a spectator in life, even though that you are carrying other people's stuff. Like you're not there anymore because no one has seen any of your stuff.
Yeah. One other darker side of 9, I think, ending up alone is the fact that they are cold and hot with people sometimes when you'll have a connection with a 9 and you're just like, oh my god, this person sees me, I feel so connected to them, and then they disappear for 2 weeks and sort of come back and they're just like, why does this person want so much from me? I was there for them that one Tuesday 2 weeks ago, and then the person's mad and they're confused about it.
Yeah, it seems like sometimes the 9 can get themselves so overwhelmed with what they've gotten themselves signed up for that they end up ghosting the situation just to sort of find themselves. So it's like a hard swing between I'm here for you and I'm absorbing everything to I've got to get away, or I just got to pretend like the phone calls aren't even here anymore. Yeah. And now 2 weeks and 2 months have gone by and you haven't talked to the person.
Yeah. Let's talk about ghosting for a second because 9s are ghosts. And so the entire concept of ghosting is invented and perpetuated by 9s at 9 Fixers.
By 9s.
Because 9s will often try to keep the peace by not existing and not standing up to reality, and that actually makes people mad. And just even the concept of ghosting, you've literally ceased to exist. So you're alone if you're acting like a ghost. Yeah,
it's like shrinking into oblivion. It's like the 9 can identify with this ghost quality of I'm above everything and I'm not a part of the world. And they can sort of erase themselves by sort of philosopher of the universe, any situation, which can be the most frustrating thing about a 9, where it's okay, it's time to be upset. It's time to be reactive. And 9's well, I can understand, where they're coming from. You think about the most heinous figures in history, it's only possible. I mean, of course, you could say it's possible for multiple reasons, but like you need nines sort of like sleepwalking through a situation might be heinous because it's too slow to react to like real problems.
Yeah. It's ironic, right? Because nines want to be ultra connected, but the way that they're not fully showing up to things actually ends up alienating people, because people do want to love something that's actually a thing.
Right.
And if you're not showing and being who you are as a separate object, there's kind of nothing to love, because you're not a thing to love. You need to be something.
Yeah. No, that whole idea of being... Oh, I think so. Like the universe's disposal system, like the nines are the nines,
like filtration.
The nines, like the recycling, recycling system of the universe.
You know what? Yesterday, I was on the phone with Michael. We were talking about poo and waste, and well, no, we were talking about how people didn't used to have toilets or plumbing, and we were like, what did they do, like threw poo out the window? And he was like, where does poo go? And I was like, good question. And we looked it up, and it's like, I don't know, there are like vats of water, and it gets like filtered. So basically we're drinking poo water, I think. I don't know. Somebody's going to correct my... I don't know what happens. But basically what you're saying is that nines are these vats filtering poo water so that it can be cleansed. And we can, and because all water is the same, we're all connected. But actually it's not, because some water has poo in it and some water doesn't, and we can only drink the water that doesn't have poo in it. So we need poo filtration systems.
They believe that they can. That's the thing. It's like, I'll take the worst shit and I'll turn it into clean water. It's like, we're not a person anymore. You're like some kind of cleanser, holding container for all the worst things in humanity. So they're not there. Anyway, we run out of time. We got to move on to 8.
Perfect. We good.
All right.
Okay, 8.
What's the what is the type of dying alone for 8?
Well, where do we even start? I don't know.
There's so many ways that 8 can end up alone.
Yeah, 8s are not accepting. The one thing that 9s do that 8s can is accept like love and softness, which allows people to be close to them, and that's something that 8s can't do.
Have a difficult time doing. Very, very difficult time doing.
Being vulnerable. If you want people to be around you and love you, you need to be vulnerable, and that's 8s are invulnerable. Like that's what their whole system is trying to be.
Yeah, it's like trying to control what I experience. At the more stressed an 8 is, the more of a hard ass they are, which is it's hard to love a rock, right? Like there's no way to get in. So they just become this boulders that I only want to experience what I want to experience, which means that whatever I don't want or whatever goes against my will, I have to kill off. So they just become these sort of executioner type people that just whatever I need to get rid of everything. So just what does that do? It's like even if your life is a normal, you kind of have this sort of dictatorial outlook where off with your head if it's not what I want. So you end up like it's literally dying alone because I don't want anything around me that doesn't agree with me.
Yeah, I read a while ago a biography on Beethoven, who I'm pretty sure is 864. I mean, we know he's an 8. I'm pretty sure 864 though. But anyway, his whole thing. I mean, he might have had some like mental illness and lead poisoning and all kinds of other shit. But the whole thing was that like it was hard for him to make friends. But like even when he had friends that like loved and supported him despite all of his bullshit, he always found a way to fuck them over. Like to just chop off the head. It could have been just like, you looked at the woman that I liked, like fuck you, and it would just be like that simple, and they'd be gone, and they're just like, oh my god, dude, like I've been here with you for 20 years, and it would just be like, nope, there's no such thing as like loyalty, friendship, whatever. At the end of the day, you threaten my resources, you do not exist.
Yeah, it's like seeing everyone. If you're the hammer, you want to see everyone as a nail, or you want to see everyone as an enemy. So like even it's not accepting love at the extreme is that even someone that's extremely close to you, like there's also always going to be some kind of barrier where like we're not as close as you think or something. So like the 8 has this fortress that can't be penetrated, that even though they have like huge impacts, that they're ultimately alone. Because they want it that way. They don't want to be touched.
Yeah, if you can't be touched, you can't be touched. Like
Yeah.
physically, emotionally, you can't be moved, right? You can't move a boulder, and that's not what human beingness is.
Yes. So yeah, one thing I thought of, killed off everyone. That's how they end up alone.
Like destroyed, like they'll kill off an entire nation. So yeah.
I mean, I think that's the problem. Like, just a hard ass. If a hard ass dies alone because there's no one there to love or be loved by, because they wouldn't let anyone get close enough to them.
Yeah. Well, all the rejection types are pretending they're not human. So there's a way that they're not being a human being, and if you're not being a human being, then you're going to end up alone, right? Like, yeah.
Another one is just the delusion. I guess another way it shows up is just the delusion that you're invincible. So putting yourself in positions that you think you can beat. I mean, think about all these people that climb Mount Everest, and I'm like, why would you do this?
Yeah.
But like some delusion that you can't be defeated.
Yeah.
And you put yourself in situations where you clearly can't handle the pain or whatever, and you're dead.
Next.
Delusion of invincibility.
Yeah.
What else do we have for 8?
I mean, they're just terrible human beings.
They're mean.
They're mean. They snap at people. They're brutal. Yeah, they're executioners. Like, you can love an 8, but there's that point where you're like, there's a certain kind of tender. You won't give tenderness to an 8 because they're not giving it back to you. So you're going to reciprocate. Your connection with them will always be rocky.
Yes. There's a certain level of feeling like you're on thin ice. I mean, I have a lot of 8 in my family. I just realized that everyone in my family is 8 fixed or 8 core. Like, I think my 7 sister is, and so there's a certain level of, if everyone has this to some degree, of if you cross me in some way that I imagined that you crossed me, you're dead.
Yeah,
like, I'm
you
not
could
talking
not
to
even
you for
know.
Right.
Not even they may not even tell you, and you don't even know what you did. Right.
And it's nothing
not
to
like
talk
ones
about.
that give rules. 8s don't have the rules. Yeah.
It's like you touched something you weren't supposed to touch. You did something you weren't supposed to do. I've already painted you as the problem, and I've already made a decision to take your head off. It's not even something we need to talk about. It's already happened. Yeah. You're over there now.
It's like you walk into a room and you like touch something, and then like an arrow just like, and you're like, I didn't even nobody told me that I wasn't supposed to touch this object.
It's like silent retribution. So like, there's not even something we can work on. It's just like, it's done.
Yeah. No, there's no negotiation, right? Like, that's not. Yeah.
I mean, you talk to them, you like try to understand. Like, there's no talking about it. There's no resolving anything. We just have to kind of pretend like it didn't happen. Maybe find another place that we can connect, because that's the only way to deal with it. Anyway,
so
let's move
far
on.
We have poo filtration system and executioner.
Rock executioner.
Rock. Okay.
All right. So 7. How?
Okay.
What's? They're dying alone all the time. The sudden suicide. That's a 7 thing.
Because they're committing suicide. Okay. I mean, 7s. 7s are. I mean, the thing about 7s is that everybody is entertained by 7s. They're very funny and they're very entertaining, but they're also inherently kind of self-centered as an energy, and so they really are taking everybody around on their fun ride, which is fun, but when it's time to be serious and be close, they're still doing that ride. It's like, hey, we can't just be drunk all day, metaphorically or literally. We need to be human beings again. You know what I mean?
It's just like infantile escapism.
Yeah, they're children.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Like, it's fun when we are being entertained by the 7, but like living with the 7, it doesn't stop. Like, they're always trying to escape the boredom or whatever. And so just imagine, like, the shadow underneath all that is like, life sucks. I'm escaping. I'm trying to get away from it. Life sucks. But eventually you're confronted with the fact that life sucks and you want to escape your own life. So you get these dramatic, like, suicides where, like, oh, I thought they were fine, but you find them hanging in their room.
Yeah. I guess it's about dying alone, so we might as well go there. I can. Well, and I feel if you ever hang out with, I mean, I have lots of 7 fixers. I don't have a lot of 7 cores in my life, but the times that I've like spent time with the 7 core or dated them or whatever, it's exhausting. You get high for a period of time and you're winding down and you're tired and they haven't stopped. and then you start to detach from them because you're like, I can't. Do you know what I mean? It's like I'm using the hangover metaphor, but it's like I woke up. We had fun last night. The fun's done. There's a different kind of we can have like a quiet breakfast now, and it's like no. Yeah. Here's more vodka. Let's go. It's like no. I just want to fucking calm down. Like we did it. We had the party. The party is done. But they don't know how to do that. Whatever that means. You know what I mean? Like this is metaphorical, but you know.
Yeah, and there's this kind of like idealistic belief in possibility that is always going to crash. It seems impossible to just stay on that train. I don't want to experience anything that doesn't fit my dreamscape ideal. And it's just setting yourself up for disappointment. Like sevens are really disappointed, but they're hiding it under this sort of escapism. People don't realize how miserable sevens can be because if you're living with a seven, like how fucking like disappointed and negative they can be, and under the weight of that negativity, it feels like they start doing self-destructive things to sort of like spice it up. And so it can be a self-destructive spiral that looks like fun on the outside, but it's like they're destroying themselves with this sort of like race to find fun shit.
Well, I'm sure math is fun.
When you're for a little bit.
When you're on it, you don't realize that your like skin's burning off when you're high. But that's just speaking of that point. I think sevens they're not very good. This is a blanket statement because lots of sevens don't, whatever. But they're not good at judging, morally judging, which is again a nice thing when you're just like, I really want somebody who's not going to judge me right now because we all do bad things. But if you are, say, again, I mean, I don't want to keep using this metaphor, but it's kind of a metaphor. If you're like a recovering alcoholic, you don't really want to hang out with it. Seven's not going to be like, I don't think you should do that. They're just going to be like, like we all. Sometimes you just have to do what's fun. Like they're not going to be the boring, sober, hard ass, which is sometimes what you fucking need, and sometimes what a loved one needs is somebody to be like, you can't do that. Please don't do that. You know.
Yeah, there's a documentary right now about on Charlie Sheen, that whole period of time where he was like Mr. Tiger Blood and he was doing all this coke. His dealer had to cut him off. Can you imagine? The dealer is like, we can't sell you any more coke. It's like at people in his life were like, they need to stop him. Like they needed to, like, because the seven isn't going to put the brakes on. And that can be a way that the seven dies alone is the overdose. Like someone has to stop the seven or the seven fixer from continuing on that path because, like, why? There's no limits for them.
Yeah, limitless. Limitless is a lie, right? It's a fantasy about orientation that is not true. So, yeah.
Okay, let's move on to 6.
Okay.
All right. Oh man.
Yeah. 6s die alone. I mean, this is an ironic one, right? Because 6 is the type that probably more than any other type really doesn't want to be alone and like specifically tries to get people around them in teams and have support and be part of some group, whatever that means. Like, I don't know, the gun association or women or I don't know, blue shirt wearing club, like just anything that's like, this is my lineage and my identity.
I think they wear people out. Like, I think when you think of the crash out, you think of a 6. Because the fear, it's like when you take the fear panic thing to its worst extreme, it's like the 6 has to externalize their fear in some way, which then gets projected to people around them. Yeah. So they lash out in ways to sort of like make the thing that they're afraid of happening now. So the paranoid conspiracy theories are like a 6 thing. It's like, okay, the 6 is really like warning people, but you end up alienating everyone because you're so scared of the bad thing that's going to happen where people don't want to deal with you anymore because you're scaring the hose.
Yeah. And this is, I mean, as a reactive type, it's like, of course, I kind of have this perspective, but sometimes you really should just 9 out. Like, you don't always need to. And 6s will disrupt things that are perfectly fine to call out some truth that maybe doesn't actually have to be called out or not right now or it's not that important or you're making more of a thing of it than it needs to be. But 6s, when they react to things, they're just like, their entire sense of self is invested in having this reaction and letting everybody know, creating this earthquake that's like, we have a problem, you have to deal with this problem. It's like, actually, we could probably just watch TV.
Yeah, like it's perpetual activist
activism. Yeah.
Sometimes people are just like, all right, cool. Like the problem, we know it's a problem, but can we just fucking chill? You know, can we like, do we have to be, how do you like create a career like Alex Jones? Every fucking day you're yelling about the elites are going to out to get us. Like that's exhausting eventually. And so just imagine on a micro level, a 6 doing that in a friendship or any sort of relationship where we're fine, but there's not a problem. The 6 is inventing problems. Like, these are the things that I had a dream that you did this, and then you're trying to figure, but that means that you don't feel this way about me, and it's like, whoa, you know. And now
inventing
it's like you end up creating
inventing
problems. Yes.
Yeah, they are, again, it's a trick because they could be problems, or maybe they are problems. But the lesson for 6s and reactive types is like that might just be something that you have to live with in life. Like you just have to maybe sit with the fact that there are going to be problems that you can't do anything about, or they just exist, or whatever it is that you react to a lot. Like, I don't know, 6s who, I don't know, are freaking out about every little thing that's happening in the world. It's like you don't have the capacity to metabolize every war, every death, you just can't. You can't do it. Or, you know, I have this problem in relationships. I'm dating a 973 that sometimes is like, this isn't something that needs to create friction right now. The last thing was, and we talked, was important. This isn't. Let's not do it. And I have to be like, oh my God, like, okay, what do I do with all this like reactive energy? But it's like, well, if I want to stay connected to this person, which I do, I actually have to erase that part of me momentarily, you know?
There's a way that 6 and 6 fix needs to create attachment in the head center of like, we need to be scared about that. We need to be afraid or concerned about the same shit, which can go to an extreme. The most extreme aspect of that, or the way that can look, is that the 6 needs to persecute others to make them feel as persecuted as they feel, which can end up being like the bullied person ends up bullying the other person into feeling the way they feel. And which can be like a way that 6 ends up creating the thing that they fear is like the persecuted persecutor.
Yeah, and they also, I mean, this is a double-edged dildo. So well, so 6s will die alone because they will alienate people that have different, say, ideological beliefs. And I don't even think it's a bad thing. I think that's good, but it can. If you are a liberal and everybody around you is Republican and you isolate yourself from Republicans, you might end up alone. And I don't even think that's a bad thing, because maybe in that context, they have beliefs that are actually like hurting you. But 6s are really good at being like, no, you're not. You know what I mean? But that to the extreme, if you have a really unhealthy 6, everybody has a belief that persecutes them.
Yeah. You're going to need to find
something. Exactly.
We don't agree with, so that we don't have to be friends anymore, or something like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the problem.
Let's move on to 5. How would a 5 die alone?
Well, I mean, I think that's
already
their greatest hope. I mean, isn't that what they want?
One thing, and let's disclaimer, obviously Asperger's and autism, it's its own thing, but the 5 fix core 5 thing has a lot of overlap with autism. And so some of the, when you go to like Reddit, for the Reddit threads for autism, where you have a lot of autistic people just trying to connect over not being able to connect with other people, and everyone sort of talks about some of the traits of autism you could say are very 5-ish, of just info dumping about the specific things that I'm hyper fixated on is one of the things that people would describe autistic people with. And so it's your ability to just get along with people, or just have normal conversations, and just, the things that people do that are socially smooth. Autistic people don't have that ability, and they want closeness, but they don't know how to do it. And so they just end up feeling completely isolated and unable to have connections with people.
Yeah. That's it. 5s are, I mean, they're just simply not good at making connections with people. It doesn't mean that they can't, but it is something that they struggle with, and it's hard for people to connect to them, which means it's hard for people to want to be around them, because you want to be around people that, I don't know, if 6 and 7, for example, like 6s are very good at connecting with people. 7s, I don't know if they're good at it, but they're fun, so people want to be around them. 5, it's just like, okay, what's in this for me?
Yeah, no,
Really.
it feels neuroatypical, even though that's not necessarily what it is for every five fixer, because their head center is so separate, and it's not doing the mixing or the relating that people are looking for in the head center. So it's just going to feel like this person's kind of autistic, whether they are or not, because that's, just you only have one track. So like if I'm not on that track, then how can we talk to each other?
Yep. Yeah, every 5 and 5 fixer feels like they're not neurotypical. I don't know whether they are or not. Like I don't know what the statistics are on that, but there's and obviously like I've lots of people with autism, or most of the people that I see with autism are like 6s or 9s. Like just like they're just in the population. But yeah, there is something about 5 that's like it generally atypical in terms of how they orient and interact with other human beings. And I don't know whether they want the connections. I think it's weird because I think they, like any human being, it's kind of similar with 4, which we're about to get to. They want connection. They want to be human, but they're not sure how to do it. And they're not willing to, I don't know, they don't know how, but I don't know if they're willing to try to learn to have that capacity, because it's so opposite of their type structure, right? 4 and 5 are in this little hole. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think about, I guess the worst case scenario for 5 or 5 fixer is that you just get stuck in like a distorted, morbid phobia. And I've heard of like 5s and 5 fixers who like have like, oh, I don't fly, I don't get on planes. And so you can like blow that up into like their whole life. There's just certain things they're not able to do that other people can do, right? That just prevent connection.
Yeah. They're really, 5s are like, they don't understand like when you pass somebody at the store and you're like, hi, how are you? Oh, good, my day. Like, we all kind of say that we hate that stuff, but most of us just do it. And at the end of the day, though, it does fill you with some kind of human positive vibe. Like whether we're like, that was empty. It's like, actually, these interactions don't they can feel empty if that's all you have, or you're not in the mood and you're faking it. But at the end of the day, this is just what human beings have, these like emotional signals that they send back and forth, and these conventions of like, hi, how are you? And all that kind of stuff. That's really all we're doing. And I remember like reading, I don't know, some study during the lockdown that was just like, we're missing this shit, right? The only connections we're allowed to have are maybe with close people that we're like allowing in our circle, but like we're missing the hi, how are you? Oh, nice day, blah, 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 because we actually need that. We're not meant to be isolated, right? The 5s are living in this world where they think we're all meant to be isolated.
Yeah, I think this age that we're living in, people have talked about, have you heard of the Gen Z stare?
Yeah, of course. Heard of it, experienced it.
It's like, kids who just haven't had enough social interactions, who've been staring at their screen too long. They start to get, like somewhat Asperger's kind of thing, where it's like you don't even know how to smoothly have a conversation anymore, or just do normal things and respond to people.
Like hosts at restaurants now are always 911 Gen Z girls that you're just like, hi, and they're like, hi. And you're like, why do you think I'm standing here, bitch? Like, what do you go check? Like, ask me if I have a reservation. And they like turn around.
Yeah, people are way more awkward than they used to be. It's just like you go to like the autism or Asperger's Reddit, and just they're talking about like, I can't have a normal conversation. I wish someone would hug me. I wish someone would hug me.
Well,
it's like, man.
Somebody has to want to hug you first.
So that's how if I would end up alone, they'd never leave. They'd never figure out how to do people. All right, so let's move on to 4, which is another type of alienation.
It's pretty similar. Yeah, I mean, I have so much to say about this. I don't even know where to start. But yeah, I mean, 4s again, like any other human being, they need and require connection. But when the elements of connection present themselves, they run away because it threatens their existence and their individuality to be connected too much.
It's like it feels like a sourpuss, perpetual sourpuss, where everything, you have self-contempt and contempt for everything, everyone who even tries to like get to you or help you or whatever. Nothing's ever good enough. And you just see the gloom and doom in everything, which is that would be emotionally exhausting for anyone who is trying to connect to a 4.
Yeah. 4s see everything, human beings, the world, as inherently like rotted and problematic at the core. Like the core of everything is bad. It's a disappointment. So they're frustration. So they're idealistic. So they are looking around for the thing that's actually pure gold. And they think that they find it sometimes. And then like, they're just like, oh, this person. And then the person will do something that breaks that. And they're just like, ugh. Yeah, I knew it. They're rotted, like everything. It could be anything. The person, like, I don't know, watched a TV show they thought was crappy or whatever. I don't know. Like every four is different. They have their own things, right? But and then you will alienate them. Right? People are not alienating fours. We are doing the alienation. We are pushing people away. It's like, you did something I don't like. I need space from you, or I need to get away from you, or I don't like you anymore. You're trash. You know?
Yeah, it's like an inner crash out, emotional crash out. Like with the four, where it's not like the six, where it's like they're flailing around and being crazy, which I guess fours can go crazy sometimes, but it's like an internal, like,
we just
downward spiral.
Down, yeah, we don't even tell you. Like, that's the thing about, there's this misnomer about four that they're like loud, outspoken. Time, No, like we'll just kind of go away. Like, you won't even know. We'll sit there, or we'll leave, or you won't hear from us, or whatever. Like, it's like, because what's the point? Like, I just realized that it's like when you like bite into an apple and you're like, oh, the inside's rotted. You just throw it out. You're not like, let me see if I can save it. It's rotted. It's just throw it in the garbage, you know?
Yeah. And that sort of switch to
That's true.
That switch to everything sucks. Like, once you realize, I mean, because part of it, like you're saying, is like you're hoping that this thing has the qualities that I idealize, or I'm hoping it has it, but then, you know, like you bite into the apple and you realize that it's rotten to the core.
Right. Yeah. The whole thing is ruined. Yeah.
You're disgusted that you even, you know, you're just like, ew.
You need to throw up the bite that you just, it's like you're like, I'm going to get sick from eating this apple. That makes sense when it's an apple, but like human beings aren't, it doesn't, it doesn't work like that. But we really see people, like even our loved ones, like there are moments where like, it doesn't matter. The person I love the most in the world is talking and I'm like, oh. Yeah. God, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with this feeling, like of just like disgust. Like I'm like it's so bad, you know.
It's like the four would be so disgusted, like the four constantly has to walk themselves off the ledge of jumping out of reality, because like reality is so disgusting. And, you know, micro levels that's happening on, like, you know, in a relationship. It's like, this is a person I want to be close to, but they just did or said something that is so disgusting to me. It's I just want to I want to either throw them off the ledge or jump off the ledge myself. But
one
like,
of us
you
has to
walk
die.
You have to walk yourself back from the ledge. Be like, all right, you know, I can maybe put that over there, or, you know, I can realize that it's not the worst thing ever. But
it really is that severe.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
Feels like death and everything being completely diseased.
Yeah.
Death is like always around the corner. Like, everything is rotting inside.
Yeah. There's a spider outside this window. Every time I sit here, I'm like, I love this little nook. Just speaking of four, and then I see that there's a spider that lives outside the window, and I'm like, and I just saw it crawl out on a web and like eat a fly and go away, and I was like, just forget it. Like,
ruined it.
I thought I liked this area. Now I don't.
Yeah. Ruined. No, things can be ruined, and that's like what happens when everything gets ruined.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, there's nothing to live for.
Yeah, right. I think that's the thing. Fours, in order to come back to reality and come back to love and come back to the things that they actually care about, they really have to go against their whole type structure.
Yes.
And yeah, that's hard, you know?
Yeah.
And I struggle with this every day.
All right, so let's move on to 3. Oh man, I think the typing that of Elliot Rogers really opened some stuff up, because I was like, I had not seen a 3 crash out that severe. And I think it's just the need for 3 to be superior and to be a winner. In a loser, it's like, I'm going to make sure that you all lose so I can maintain this narrative that I'm a winner. That's what it looks like.
They need, and this isn't, I mean, it applies to 3 fixers too, but they need people to be impressed with them. And again, this is a dichotomy, like 6 being attachment but reactive, right? All the attachment types have this dichotomy where 3s are like, I really want to be in the zeitgeist, I want to be out there, but I also somehow need to stand out. Like I need to find the most marketable thing, take it, which everybody has, but then somehow still be better than you.
Yeah.
so and be impressive in order to bolster my image. Just like 4s need to be also kind of better than you in a different way in order to exist, in order to have some kind of sense of self.
Yeah, it's interesting, like that need to be impressive. It has to be mirrored, right? Like it has to be like, I need to be seen as a winner in some kind of way, even if it's just me. I need to create the sort of circumstances where I feel like I'm winning. And so like one example is like he wanted a relationship, or he wanted a girlfriend so bad, and because that wasn't working, anyone who said anything about their success with women, he had to ruin it. He had to go out and like find couples and ruin their dates. And like that's such a like a dark way, a dark 3 of like, I can't achieve, so I have to stop other people's achievement. I have to undermine other people in order to feel like a winner.
And similar to, I guess, all the similar to other competency types, 3s will see everybody as objects in their well, just objects in general, but in context of 3, objects in their image world. So you become like 3, even just 3 fixers. They're just like, when they're looking for partners to date, it's like, does that person look good? Like if I carried them around as a purse on some level, like would this be a valuable object that I'm putting next to me? And so everything becomes an object of value,
right? That
you need to gaze at them, other people need to gaze at you, and then also, even just on top of that, because everything's objectified, 3s at their worst will, like, I mean, it sounds cliche, but they fucking work too much. Like, they don't have time for you. Like, they'll actually, not all 3s, like some 3s have a lot of downtime, but like they see everything as exactly an object for bettering themselves. And it's like, sometimes this should just be like they can't just have fun or have an object of pleasure that somehow has to fit into this concept of like, this is my downtime, I scheduled it in here and that's good for me. I decided that it's like leveling up if I have some downtime, Yeah,
it's like zapping all of joy or enjoyment from things by making it a career or making it something that you're working on. Right. So it's like, when do you actually just do things, or even just allowing yourself to suck at something? It's like, if you're not even allowing yourself to just do something for its own sake, rather than, I have to be great at this. Like, you kind of kill your own heart in a sense. Like, you kind of kill your own sort of like enjoyment. And so like the 3 ends up like not like in the sense, like you've objectified yourself to the point where you don't have any compelling reason to enjoy your life anymore. Or if you've made your life, I have to win, or it's not worth living anymore. What happens when you stop winning and you don't feel like your life is worth living?
And like, again, similar to the other, just kind of the triads keep coming up here, but similar to the other assertive types, if you are turning yourself into an object for action, what are people loving when they try to love you? Are they loving your achievements? Are they loving what you do? And if they're seeing something in you that you don't want to be part of your image, are you allowing them to love that thing, or do you want to put it somewhere else? Actually, all the heart types are doing that, really, right?
Yeah.
Some people say stuff to me sometimes where they're just like, I love this thing about you. And I'm like, that's not...
It's not me.
Or just like, I love that you're like, I don't know. Again, in a relationship, Mike will say stuff like, you're actually really caring and giving. And I'm like, how fucking dare you? Like,
that's not the image I want you to.
The hell's wrong with you? Yeah, like, it's just like, okay, I don't know. You have to figure it out. Like, if this person loves you and they're seeing you, can you allow them to love what they see?
Yeah. I guess it's identifying with the mask to such a degree that you're not there anymore, in which you could say that that's another way that the 3 can end up alone, is that they're being admired or loved for their performance, which is not them. There's an attachment to being not seen in a certain way with the 3. So it's like, you did all this stuff to be loved, but it's not really you. It's just
it's not you. Yeah, right. What is exactly? But people. So you'll end up dying alone if you won't let people. You don't show people or won't allow people to see whatever it is that you really are. Yeah.
The other way that 3 can end up alienating people is this sort of like NPD. I am only going to allow people to exist to affirm the person I want to be. And you could say narcissistic personality disorder is probably the most aligned with 3 at their worst.
At their worst, yeah.
I'm going to destroy you if you try to reveal anything about me that I don't want to see myself, or I don't want other people to see.
Yeah, exactly. All the hard types, but 3 is the worst for that. Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to 2. Lots of ways 2s can end up alone.
Again, the same rejection problem of like the rejection types don't even see themselves as human beings. 2, very ironic because they see themselves as the most human of all the human beings, but they don't see themselves as having the entire vulnerable side of humanity that they only want to think other people have, you know? And so you can't love somebody who's invulnerable. Again, it's the same problem with 5 and 8.
Yeah. It's they don't see their own shadow. They only see their best intentions, and so they can't take in that they're manipulative, covertly self-serving. They end up guilt-tripping people, you know, in their pursuit of like, I'm here to help you, I'm here to be a source of things. They end up crossing boundaries, and so they end up alienating people because they've crossed too many lines. I mean, my mom is someone who's very people-y, but there are a lot of people who won't take her calls because she's doing too much, or she's manipulated them too many times. Yeah. And so, there's this overbearing, boundary crossing problem where, you know, this person meddling kind of mother figure personality has like people don't want to be meddled with anymore. So the 2s end up by themselves for that reason.
Yep. Yeah, it's really fascinating with 2s because I know a lot of 2 fixers, and I love a lot of them. Like my mom's 962. I don't see this being a problem with her. There's a 692 that I love that I'm thinking of right now. Like whatever, lots of 2 fixers. But my experience with 2s, some of them really get it right, but core 2s especially, like ironically, they're kind of universally not very well liked. Yeah. Because I mean, core 2 is not that common. I don't know that many of them, but the few that I come into contact with, I'm usually just uncomfortable because they're not seeing me. They've decided that they see me, but they're not. So I feel erased from the interaction of like yesterday. Okay, so yesterday I euthanized my cat, right? Not to get into this, but I was really sad. I left the vet. Like I'm okay now, but I left. I walked into a pet store to get something else for my other cat, and I walk in and I'm I was just crying, which I hate crying in public, but I was really distraught. So I'm crying, and I'm in the pet store, and this 2 fixer walks up to me. Can I help you with anything? And it was I was here and I literally went like this and was like, no, I'm good. And I like tried to turn away, and he kept trying to, we have this over here. And I was literally like, there are tears streaming down. Like, are you out of your mind? Like, it was just so, it almost like my pain attracted him to me. But I was like, this is not what I need, because I don't need you. And you're having a problem with that. I need to be by myself. You are not. Like the problem with 2 is always that like, I'm telling you this is not what I need, and they don't believe you. It is an attack on their sense of self if you try to explain to them that they might be misguided in whatever they're providing for you. Because then in order to do that, they have to be like, oh, okay, what do I need? Like, you know what I mean? Like that. Like if this person needs something and I don't know, then like I have to reevaluate myself and my own needs. And try to empathize with them, and I don't want to do that.
They're not doing that. Yeah, it's self-serving. It feels self-serving, and because it's heart stuff. Like, you know, you're having a heartfelt personal moment, and it's spilling out in public. And so when you have someone who's like emotionally invasive in a way that they've already decided that, oh, what do you need? They're trying to get into your heart. That's why 2s can alienate people so much, because you're dealing with heart stuff, and if the 2 has a way understand you, it works out great. But if they don't, it's a horrible situation to be in, because like, dude, get the fuck away from my emotions. Get the fuck away from my heart.
Yeah, you're not right.
So like that's why, you know, 2s end up getting blocked, because it's like or like what you're trying to do. And also there's kind of like an emotional manipulation that people can feel into sometimes, where it's like, I believe that you saw me, or I believe that you cared, but I actually realize now that it's really about your thing that you're doing. It's not about me. It's not adapting to me. It's you've already decided what you're going to do, and that feels like you're being used.
And again, I'm I have my bias against 2, and that's just me being a 4. So like that's my own bias. Yeah. Nobody should. This is all our own bias, right? But no, sometimes 2 fixers get it right, and you're just like, oh my god, thank God, right. Like thank you, like they will do things for you that nobody else will do, and you're just like, I'm never going to repay this, to put it plainly. But you did save my life right now, and you're not really asking for anything. And sometimes they really get it right, and I feel like I owe 2 fixers my life. That's what they want. But like sometimes it is genuine. Like it feels genuine. You're like, you're not really asking. You really this is you, and you're going to keep doing this, and it's fine. But sometimes they get it blatantly wrong, and it's like the worst, Yeah. Nobody appreciates it.
All right. So let's move on to our final type 1. How would a type 1 or 1 fixer end up dying alone?
Well, I mean, 1s, we were talking about 8s kind of like having secret kill shots or whatever, which is it's interesting, right? Because if you don't get shot, you're kind of fine with the 8. You know what I mean? You're like, they didn't shoot me. Like I made it. But like somehow, but with 1s, you're always going to get shot. It's not a kill shot. But you're always you're gonna get a finger chopped off. Something's gonna happen, but you know why? 1s are not confusing; they're very clear. But there's kind of no way of being around 1s and 1 fixers without violating some boundary. You will, you just will, and that can be obnoxious and difficult because you have to change yourself. 1s are these 1 fixers are like gods of the land, of the space, of everything, and they have things. And if you don't fit. If you don't twist your maybe they want you like this right now. If you're not like this, you're gonna get cut. If you stand like this, you're fine, but you have to fit yourself into whatever the hell they need, the rules of their space and their life.
It's like 1 and 1 fixtures are like the Old Testament God, where they have the 10 Commandments, and it's impossible for any human to actually adhere to the 10 Commandments.
It's impossible, exactly.
So
it's possible for them.
It's judgment. It's like you've got these judgments, and then you have these punishments. But God will forgive you, right? But you're gonna fuck up. You're gonna keep fucking up.
Yes.
And the 1 is gonna let you know how you fucked up. So it's like these impossible absolutes, and this perpetual scolding or judgments that you have to withstand. But then if that can become so much, or like I don't want to be scolded constantly, and so you might alienate someone who's just like, this is too much. You're just like, I'm always doing something wrong. But the other thing about it is like they're sort of hypocritical in a sense, because the thing that the 1s are these impossible standards, they're not even living up to them, which can be another way to alienate. Jordan Peterson, who talks about cleaning your room, but then has this like drug addiction.
His life's a mess. Yeah. But they get to, again, it's 1 fixer, like the God complex is such an important thing to put on 1 because they decide when it's okay to break the rules. And it's like, this is an appropriate situation to get loose. Like I know I said that, but no matter what they do, it's always the fucking right thing. And what you did, if it's not the thing if you're again, it's like, hey, if you don't get shot, you're like, if you fall within the rules, you're fine. You're good. It's like, I don't know, walking on hot coals. Your feet are going to eventually get burned.
Yeah, it's funny to me, like my initial understanding of 1 was like, this is like an objective standard, but it's all subjective standards that the 1 holds. And like because a 6 might be like, all right, this is the rule book, these are the laws, but then might get frustrated with the 1, because that's what 6 is looking for, like the laws that are always objective.
Yeah, they're
1
wanting
is like
objectivity.
It's not objective. It's like there are these subjective, this feels right to me, and so you have to live up to the 1's subjective standards. They're not looking for an objective standard.
No, and most 1s have a 6 fix, and they have like, if they're 1-6 something, right? They'll try to be like, there's some sense of polling, right? 6s are more objective, even whatever. At least they try to be, because they are doing attachment. Objectivity, I guess, by definition, is like, can everybody agree, or can we vote? Can we whatever, that this is the thing? 1s, it's not that they can't do that, especially with the 6 fix, but at the end of the day, it really is about some kind of, this is gut. It's like personal, physical gut frustration that needs to be corrected and realigned so that I can feel better. And
So
you're
would
in
you
my
say that-
space, so yeah.
I was wondering if a one or one fixer has that sort of impossible standards with themselves to the point where it's like, I'm not good enough for my own standards, and so that sort of scolding gets turned into yourself, where you start maybe destroying yourself to some degree because you're not good enough. Is that do you think that's a thing?
Like for me, 1 is third, and a lot of the 1 fixers or whatever that I know have a 6 fix, so I know that 6 is going to do that. 6 is going to look at themselves. Like 6s are looking at their faces and just punching them. You know what I mean? Like punching themselves in the face. Yeah, very prone to guilt, and 6 fixers. So I don't know if 1 is again, it's the gut center. It's not about moral character. It's really more about like an energy or a vibe, and I think the other fixes are what then cause that, like what you're talking about. Like am I 9, 8, and 1, I don't know if inherently that center has that kind of self-moral thing, but everybody has a head center.
I'm just curious if there's any sort of one-ish suicides coming from that sort of self-critical place. I don't think so.
No,
God doesn't kill
God
God's
doesn't
not going to kill themselves.
No, exactly. I think that ones will, again, I think that it just ends up, frustration just gets pushed to the max, and they end up getting, speaking of Jordan Peterson, I remember like early on when he was like freaking out about fucking pronouns or whatever, there's like a clip of him on camera, and I remember being like, is this really a big deal? I don't even if you don't agree with it, just like you're really like, you're going so far, who cares? You're like ruining your job. It was so stupid. But I remember him just being like, I'm not doing it. Like he was just so, and it was just kind of like, I don't think it was self-loathing. It was just self-destruction in the sense that you cannot release this frustration until the external environment meets your...
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Ones aren't going to destroy themselves. They'll destroy everything by
everything, and it's
impossible absolutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.